Greetings, fellow Ambazonians. The one Chairman Capo Daniel for PRAP, the People's Right Advocative Platform. We want to give you our daily brief, and this is the one be very important. I think we'll go repeat them as we get into the week, because on weekends we know say that the day where most people they pay less attention for media publication, but this is very important update what I want to bring up for GAM for all our people them about the push for devolution, the peace plan paper, and the progress we make and for give una update. When I know say we don't plan a scheduled conference for here for Canada, for Alberta, for Calgary, for place with me a day, for host the various Amazonian groups, individuals, and personality the way they don't work hard for this past 8 years for make our people the right of self-determination, make it advance. That I'll give you an update about that. But before I start, I want to give you a little bit very important update as we do one for our daily brief. The first one, now say, I don't want to begin the border for the talk about the call a specific group their name every single day. But as I talk, I think 2 days ago for Ngwakang, if people were know Ngwakang for Mezam, for Bamenda Day, around after my 90, just for after Naka Bridge, after entrance for Chombo, you did go up, you want to start climb that hill to move up a little bit. Boy, them for day, then come for day with the girl, then come put the girl for road, then publicly, summarily execute the girl. The girl their body day for day since yesterday. It happened for Thursday morning, and already weekend that our population not be able to identify the person. And I think say this particular group where they don't be noted for begin carry out such summary execution without accounting to our general public. People need to start question the morality of people who are in that group. You cannot be in a group that things like this and then you are comfortable. We allow you to be in your comfort. No. Why should people be killed in this manner? Human life, human sanctity must be respected. Human rights must be preserved. So we want to tell our people about this incident. The population in that area then be very disturbed. This type of unnecessary, unwarranted, unexplained killings should stop. They should stop. They should account to us, including killings like the lady of Madame Frida, who was publicly executed. We have not heard anything from this group. They have not come to explain to our public. This type of activity is not acceptable. It is wrong. It is immoral. Those who are in that group and those who support that group, they deserve to account to our people. So apart from that, during the week, we inform our people that we have an intelligence of an imminent attack that is being planned in our territory, in particularly in the interland the Grafi areas. That intelligence is precise and that the attack is imminent. It is geared towards political objectives to torpedo negotiation processes that are ongoing or envisaged. According to the intelligence and other information that we have gathered, when I made that announcement, I told you people that the ADF declared closure of border came from Bui. And that sort of give us an indication of probability of where this calamity can come. It is now likely more than ever that this thing is in Bui. The people of Bui, recently, there is a big cultural jamboree that is supposed to take place in Bui, in So. All our Banso people, it's an opportunity that they will come together to celebrate, encourage harmony within the society, and rebuild bridges within the society. The Amazonian fighters in Bui have done the right thing to agree with the Bui elites and Bui people, including the Nso Cultural Association, to allow the Fon of Nso, the Nwirum of Nso, the big Fon of Nso, the main form, paramount Fon of Nso, who is very controversial and is in Yaoundé, to return home for this festivity. They have agreed, despite the reservation and despite the anxiety, soldiers have done the right thing to agree that the Fon can come so long as he upheld to certain rules that do not use this occasion to promote or support the central government of Cameroon and to suppress the aspiration of the people who are fighting for our Amazonia. This agreement have been reached already, and the fund is set to come to Bui for this celebration. It's called Ngonnso. Ngonnso starts in the 27th of this month and end in, I think, 3rd of December. So it's a 1-week celebration. We are now very concerned that this occasion can be the target or the subject of this attack. The SDO in Nso have seen a ban to ban traditional dances from Kikaikilaki with the false claim that the juju from that area are all Amber boys. We know that juju all over have been accused of being Amber boys. Taxi drivers have been accused of being Amber boys. Ben-Sikin people have been accused. Our own mothers are called Mamad Amber because generally this struggle is for all Southern Cameroonians. It's for all of us Anglophones. And so when members of the Cameroon government, they want to target our people or they want to instigate attacks against our people, they use these cracks within our community to provoke situation that will work in their benefit in terms of the political narrative. This provocation of this ban of traditional dances from Kikaikilaki is seen by our own intelligent guys on the ground as an attempt to provoke a situation where those Amazonian boys will be used to attack or will attack or will create that environment where false flag attack can happen in their name. We have seen what was done with the ADF in Ayabacho, where they were provoked and deceived to attack traditional palaces around Batibo. At the end of the day, the ADF become unpopular. The population did not want them. They have lost. We have lost Widikum and many other places. The ADF, even Sumanguru today, is not in Batibo. He's now in Gi. Probably he has done the right thing and listened to our advice and be in a safe place. He will come back tomorrow. Who knows? Who knows? But that is not the subject. Our point is, what they are doing in provoking this situation. There is a chieftaincy issue in Bui regarding a fund that was installed who is doing some juju things that the fund of the palace of so things that it is wrong. And they start to accuse this fund that he's working with the Amber boys. This SDO have been doing that for a long time, including the Fon of Nso, accusing them falsely that they are working with the Amber boys, when this fund just wants to live in their community in peace. The hope of these people making this provocative accusation is that people can attack or claim attack in the name of Amber boys, and these people will be blamed, and it will be justified. The government of Cameroon will think that these things are happening because of the struggle. So we want to caution our people in Bui, and we advise them to be proactive and to know that if an attack happens when the Fon of Nso come to Nso to celebrate Ngonnso, they should not run to conclusion that these attacks are legitimate Amazonian attacks that have targeted civilians and key people. There can be atrocity that will happen during this event, and we want our people to be aware. So that is a very important announcement we want to make to inform the general Amazonian that this important occasion that is happening in Nso, the Cameroon officials who are on the ground, they are provoking situations, making declarations that they don't even have the power, and it may lead to something very bad happening. Now, the most important update we want to give to all of our people, as you know, for 1 year, 9 months, we have been campaigning for direct negotiation as a way forward after the failed Canadian talks. We have come up with PRAP and have taken lead in this initiative. And we are very happy that the roadmap we set before our people, and we promise them that give us 1 year, we will be able to secure a political settlement that will end this war. We have come this far, and it has changed the trajectory in our debate within Amazonia. One of the things we have successfully done, which we intended to do with the political calculation we made and the concessions we made, was that we went and looked into the mistakes we have made based on our interaction with the international community. And we decided that for us to succeed, for our case to be heard, we must make certain changes that align or reposition our struggle in line with international practices and norms, and straight in line with international rule-based system that we have in the United Nations. That means that we have decided to recognize the reality internationally that Cameroon, as it is a sovereign country that is recognized to be as it is formed, a country formed in 1961 between the former British Southern Cameroon and the already independent French Cameroon. So we believe that we have acknowledged that Cameroon is one country. We have also acknowledged that our people's right of self-determination is legitimate within that system. And we are now fighting a fight that is in conformity with international law. It has made us to be able to have access. Initially, our plan was that we are going to secure the British government to come in as a mediator when we started this program, and we come up with this public campaign. That have also been weathered down, because instead of Amazonian leaders coming around us to find out and debate, what are you guys doing? What are your calculations? What success have you made? Instead, because they are so concerned about power structure and their group projection, we were attacked forcefully and made false accusations. And as a result, other groups who could not engage with us, decided to make the same claim and make appeal to have direct negotiation with Cameroon. Cameroon seized the opportunity and endorse mediators that are not as strong as Britain, and the British government back off. But we still continue and we succeed to secure international partners that look at our stance and our vision and think that we are within the realms of the possible. And they decide to stand to engage with us and partner with us in this journey to bring about the end of this war and a political settlement through negotiated settlement. We have secured 3 international partners. One is already known, the ICO. In this journey, we started with this document of the peace plan paper, which is our vision for peaceful coexistence with Francophones in Cameroon, where Amazonian right of self-determination will be respected and be exercised, with the end solution of a devolution of Cameroon that gives our people autonomy, similar to that of Northern Ireland or Scotland, or the French territory, who also have their own semi-autonomy. This journey, we ultimately was hoping that other Amazonian groups will come and meet with us. We discuss those who have their plan, those who have things that have been going on that we are not aware of, to debate and see what will be the best position for us to engage or make this offer with Cameroon. We are very happy that reputable Amazonians have engaged in this effort, including Comrade Ebenezer Akwanga, which is a pioneer of this our struggle, and many other groups that I cannot name. We also have communal group, which is our base, because we believe in the communal approach. Other Amazonian groups all of them have been engaged, from Seseko Ayoktabi's group, and every other group have been engaged properly. Everybody have read this plan. Chris Anu have been engaged in a long arm through other people, through other means, but it didn't turn out well. So instead of us successfully having all of our Amazonian groups coming together to see how we can have a common position, to have a better bargaining power in the negotiation table, because preparation is everything. When you are better prepared, you have better result. Instead, the idea of who is a leader have dominated the agenda so much that we have failed. And I want to inform our people that the Canadian conference that was supposed to bring all these individuals for the purpose of consolidating our position into a common position will not happen as we expected. Just like the British didn't turn up like we expected because of our internal dynamic. This is not that Cameroon is fighting us. It is our own people fighting us. We have had people coming out with blackmail, false statement, and when they realize the truth, they just simply go back. They don't correct the truth in the public. So now we have Amazonians who have objected to the Canadian government, that Canadian government accepting to facilitate our meeting here in Canada means that Canada have taken side with PRAP against other Amazonian groups who object to our own approach. As a result, the Canadian government foreign ministry have decided to back off. They will not more provide us diplomatic support, direct support. Direct support means that a government will facilitate our visa process for everybody to come. They will support us probably with security and some other things that states will do, as we always have this type of meetings. We have successfully secured these things and we have lost them because Amazonians have written letters, they have complained, they have done what they do best, fight each other, and we can no longer have that meeting as we wanted. Nevertheless, we are going to have the meeting by our own merit. That means the Canadian government will not support us diplomatically, but by our own merit, we will still organize that conference here. The conference will be more ceremonial to consolidate the common position. We are going to have two big virtual meetings, and we still invite every Amazonian who have previously disengaged or have listened to this thing and had been misinformed to come back and participate in these two sessions to help shape the peace plan paper, even the name or whatever, so that we have the best position that reflects our entire aspiration and our people and our struggle. And prepare this document so that when we go to the United Nations, which we are due to attend, we have the invitation already, we have the logistic and everything to go there. Remember, Cameroon have not even fight us in this thing. It is us, Amazonian, fighting it, reducing it as we go along, breaking it down as we go along. God help us that we finish this thing with the best possible outcome to have the maximum autonomy, maximum freedom, maximum human right guaranteed for our people. And that we should be better off than we even started this struggle. So we have taken these positions that some people thought was a betrayal to accept, which is just accepting the reality of our situation in Cameroon. We are all Cameroonians. We are all part of that country. The thing is that one side, the Francophones the Francophone central government have hijacked that government. And this is the problem we face. Dismissing it and saying we are not Cameroonians, we were never part of Cameroon, wasn't the right approach to approach this issue. There's anger, which is legitimate. Our people were killed, our youth were beaten up, our lawyers were maltreated, and our anger and our self-defense actions were all legitimate. But for us to move forward, we must accept our own limitations and try to adjust and not be afraid that we can fail or we may not fail, we may not succeed, and then we have to come back again to do what we have to do, because we cannot accept the status quo, as well as we cannot allow the status quo to be the norm. That will mean a tragedy to our people. So we will be having two meetings to consolidate position so that we have a final proposition that we can have as a paper to submit to the international community and to Cameroon. And this is a middle ground. The Cameroon government have come up with the Grand National Dialogue, which in principle says that they have acknowledged the problem and they want to look for ways for us, Anglophones and Francophones, to live together as one Cameroon. And by granting us special status, they think that they will accommodate the minority rights. And we think that their approach do not solve the problem. It recognizes it. It didn't properly address it, and it didn't even provide solutions that solve it. As you see, the war is ongoing. The Grand National Dialogue have even made English become subservient to French in our own territory, because the bilingualism that they have imposed is a bilingualism that says English and French is equal. There is no equality in language in the whole world. Even in Canada, in the French region, French is the dominant language. In the legal system, we are asking that it should reflect what our lawyers had asked, that the common law jurisdiction be exclusive to our region. And in appellate courts, the Francophones or a bilingual system can apply in the Supreme Court and other things like that. So we are asking things that are within the possibilities. We are asking things that are going to guarantee us safeguarding our territorial integrity and the possible Amazonian independence if we are not treated fairly. So our people have to come around these issues. We have been very transparent with whatever we do, and we'll continue to do that because we owe it. We believe transparency is part of restoring the dignity of our people and even confident. There is a segment in the ruling class in Cameroon that are really worried about the secessionist tendency or agenda of Amazonia, that it triumphs even rational thinking, that those tendencies do not believe in any chance of Cameroon working anything out to be together. Those tendencies must be removed. If we learn from other countries who have gone through secession problems and they resolve their issue, like the Basque country, which is a friend of Amazonia in Spain, they are living in peace in France. They have their own parliament, they have their own flag, they have their own lawmakers, they have exclusive jurisdiction. They have rights to self-determination, and secession or separation from France, they have never invoked it because their people are more aware of. There are some places in America who also can separate in America from America, but they decide to stay in America because they get the benefit more. So if we have a situation where our people are well taken care of, we should have those mechanisms in place that can secure an exit that is proper within democratic or acceptable way for both sides of the Mongo. So it is the right thing to do. We must give peace a chance. We must put aside hate for ourselves, hate for our opponents, hate even for the Cameroon people, and possibility of having reconciliation even with those who are part of the problem for the sake of our people. So these are the updates we have given you. I've gone into details. There are a lot of things that we cannot say because the cooperation agreement that all the Amazonian groups that have come to work together for a common position have agreed do not allow me to say those things. But as much as our people needs to know, have to know, deserve to know, that we are going to provide because we believe it is a part of our duty for public accountability to provide this information. So, fellow Amazonians, we will be going to honor the invitation that we have to come to the United Nations and speak about the problems we have as minorities. We understand that there are people in our struggle that do not accept that we are minorities. But we also understand that we live in an international reality that we must function within. If we are not reasonable and our plight do not fit into this international framework, then our plight is not heard, will not be heard. We will not have a platform to speak and people will not hear our story and our cry. So we have to be in conformity with international law and in international reality and be very respectful. All the other countries, the African leaders that we have met, representative of other African countries we have met, the first word that come out of their mouth is that we should change our rhetoric and show respect for Paul Biya and his country. All of them have said that. You remember even when the British government took over the chairmanship of the Security Council, in their first meeting where they had that press briefing to talk about issues that relate even to our cause, they also talk about the sensitivity around Cameroon. We must also, for the purpose of us having a negotiated settlement and be able to talk to the Cameroon government and to be able to have a platform where people can listen to us, we must function in this way. We must put aside our own cocoon and live in the reality of the war and be able to move our people forward. To Comrade Akwanga, Mbongo Akwanga Derek, who have been very supportive, very, very, very mature man, very rich guy, to Florentine, to all the leaders, the group of Manchu BBC and all the community leaders who have come together and all those who are thinking to come together for us to work this thing. I continue to be very inspired and very strengthened by their courage and their leadership, and very encouraged by their leadership. And we still have this debate in the public. I think it is only in the public court so far about leadership. And I will politely criticize Ebenezer Akwanga, doctor. You know, when we have all criticized the IG a lot about this, the idea that the IG is claiming to be a government having exclusive power, which they don't have it. In reality, they don't have it. We have criticized them. And even Akwanga have publicly criticized the Ague of Sea that in the back of Ayabacho mind, he also is projecting the Ague of Sea as a government, even though he pretends not to. So it will be contradictory for our patron Akwanga to come and say that everybody to come and line up behind him, meaning that he must be the leader to lead. You don't lead just by standing in front for everybody to line behind you. We don't agree with that approach. It doesn't work. It will even contradict the point that Akwanga have been critical about the IG and the Ague of Sea. The idea that one person must stand in front. No, we must understand that it is not possible for one person to stand in front. All of us must come around. We want people to let initiatives, let ideas triumph. Let that your experience triumph in these ideas. And let us move forward. So everybody should feel comfortable to come. And we believe that the ICO have been very professional and be very neutral, and they approach every Amazonian group, irrespective of the fact that we were the initial group that attracted them, and we had that visit from them. We have had a very good relationship with them, and even have a memorandum of understanding with them. so that they can best represent, better represent what we say to them, to the rest of the world. Every other Amazonian group, now that we have a cooperation agreement, can work within this framework to be able to advance our cause and the cause of our people, so that we can have self-determination. It's not an easy thing, but it's something that we can do. We are now in our roadmap. It has always been watered down because of our internal dynamic, but we are making progress and we are moving forward. We have already engaged actively 36 countries in the United Nations, and we are going to act to even expand more. And there are more countries that are coming up to even approach to get at what are we trying to do. So expect us to talk in the UN, and expect us to be very respectful to Cameroon and the sovereignty of Cameroon and the leadership of Cameroon, while advancing the plight of our cause for self-determination and seek for reconciliatory negotiated settlement that expresses the right and execute the right of our people for self-determination. Expect that from us. You'll see that from PRAP. So we want to announce to our people that the Amazonian Liberation Movement, an organization that is linked to Mancho BBC, which is the first organizations that started in this struggle, will be going with us as a partner to the United Nations. The other groups which are in the cooperation agreement will be working a way that the presentation in the United Nations will reflect all the groups that have partnered with us, all the individuals that have partnered with us, all the communal groups that have partnered with us, that it will reflect the aspiration as consensus will be built amongst us on what is going to be presented there. Because speaking in the United Nations, those speeches are just a platform and must follow the rule, must be respectful. And those speeches forms the basis where nations look at deliberations, look at resolutions to be able to legally and formally put pressure or apply support or endorsement for our call for a negotiated settlement through devolution of Cameroon as a permanent peaceful solution for this crisis that we find ourselves in. That is what we want to brief you today. Continue to engage. We have 2 other side projects that we are doing to build this capacity, which is having the forces also have a say. We are raising funding for that. We are also raising funds for our community, one of our refugee community, to be able to organize them, to be able to express themselves as we did in Nigeria. And we welcome other groups to continue to engage with us and give us better ideas on how we can reflect our people's mindset, we can reflect our people's will in our advocacy and in our decision making. So thank you all for listening very attentively, and we continue to encourage all persons, all groups, all organizations that have worked so hard behind the scene, some in front of the scene, to make sure that the resistance for Amazonian self-determination, the resistance for Southern Cameroon self-determination, West Cameroon self-determination, our Anglophone self-determination, to be kept alive against the backdrop of strong repression from the central government against our identity. You are invited not to let history bypass you, to come so that we can succeed to secure this projected and anticipated negotiation that we are pushing for. And we ask for people to continue to pray for Cameroon, because the Cameroon government have not yet agreed on anything. They are still having their own internal discussion and things. Nothing is certain until things are certain. We will be monitoring very closely their deliberation in this session of the follow-up committee that makes decision about this type of issue that the president will likely follow of that country. We pray that the activities on the ground and those soldiers on the ground will respect and understand these things and understand why we say it is time to stop fighting. Nobody should escalate. Respect the spirit of cessation of hostility. We have saved a lot of life by declaring cessation of hostility and realigning ourselves in a way that recognizes the reality in the international community that have allowed Cameroon to be able to restrain themselves also. You have seen the result on the ground. No village have been burnt, since we started to call for the direct negotiation, no collective punishment have happened. Even when Cameroon soldiers, multiple of them have been killed within our communities, reprisal attack have come to zero. We are very proud of those progress. People who used to benefit from this struggle, the dogs of war like Moja Moja, who was a pain in our society, who was using false accusation, killing youth, are now behind bars. People like Ngala Girard, who exploit the Cameroon system to collect money and instigate the fighting to maintain the war economy, is also in trouble. Those are all results of us coming in the realms of possibility and realigning the struggle with international reality and legal reality so that we can stand on stronger grounds. We are going to continue this advocacy for everybody. We are going to continue to reflect the best interests of our people to the best of our ability and respect every group and every individual as everybody, as citizens of West Cameroon, citizens of former British Southern Cameroon. We all have equal right of political participation and political organization to best reflect the desire and the best interests of our people.